Okay, guys. So here we are with Katawa Shoujo. It's been a exhausting day for me. Um, I don't have it in me to I don't have it in me today to play Xenoverse, honestly. Like I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it like for the past like 2 hours in the back of my head. Like it was there. Like, do I want to play it today? Maybe I should. I probably should. That's what I said I'd play. That's what I put in the schedule. It said I probably should, but as it got closer and closer to like around this time, and after I've already put Sparty away, to put into bed basically, I thought about it some more, and I'm like, I was like, ultimately it just came down to, you know what? No, I don't feel like playing it. I'm tired. I don't want to put that effort in really. And apparently the last time I was playing this was back in December 4th. So, and I remember I got to Act 2 of Lily's story. So it's a bit of a gap, I believe, from where we last left. Oh god, I'm about to like read some of this to refresh my memory. Wait, oh, okay, so they had ice cream, I guess? Huh. Okay, I remember this. Yeah, Hanako's birthday. If it's an invitation, I'd be happy to accompany you. Yeah, I remember that. Let's see. After living in Yamaka, the city seems like an entirely different world. I'm running the halls. Common early conduct. Okay. Every time I start up this thing, I always have to look back at where I last left off just to refresh my memory. It's like when you open a book and then you're like you put it down for a while and you're like, oh shit, where did I last leave off in this novel? And then you have to look back like 3 pages just to see, just remind yourself where your characters are at, or or just what the story is at that point. Let's see, hold on, I want to have a shoulder, neutral smile hers, okay. Let's see. Oh, the crowd reactions. Okay, right, because she's tall, blonde, and apparently blind. Do you have any idea where to look first? You saw her soft voice makes me out of my line of sight. Enjoys walking outside. Okay, this seems familiar. I realize it's my first time in the city, so I've got no idea where to go. Shoujo Brown thought, planning a route for us to take, and come to think of it, a way to communicate it. Something I noticed in the time I've been with her is how, when deep in thought, she lacks close to any form of body language to show it. Her expression may change, but not a hint of movement showed. She seems to have little in the way of sweeping physical gestures in general, though. So, I've assumed it's part of her reserved nature. Is there a large electronics store near here? I take a quick look around, mostly finding clothes stores. After a few seconds, I notice a store with a bright blue sign, some distance away. That fits her description. Yep, it's just a bit ahead of us. Should we go in that direction? Thankfully, it's just information she needed. The nod, we start off, and head towards Lily's unknown destination, landmarks being our guide. Store owner, here you go, 1 vanilla, 1 chocolate. Oh, how did I just jump into that? I hand the money over to the counter and take the cones to the railing that Lily's sitting on. Can't believe I let her trick me like this. She not only led me to an ice cream stall, but also got me to buy her some. At least she gave me the money for hers. Then don't need to complain, man, if she fucking paid for her own. Jesus. So you had to try to make sure you want to string Katawa shit's allowed. A lot of elaborating. I prefer reading out loud than having to, like, put effort into playing the game. That's where I'm drawing the line. I don't want to put effort in right now. This is just reading. Reading is like the lowest form of effort I can get, honestly. And as far as I know, I'm not at that point of sleepiness just yet, so I think we're fine, but we'll see. Sure enough, she's patiently waiting where I left her. I guess she was planning on making the day an event, rather than a simple shopping trip. I call out to her and slowly place the vanilla cone in her outstretched hands, being careful to make sure she has a good hold of it before letting go. At least her tastes are fairly normal. I was worried she asked for some weird flavor when she first asked. Here's the change. It's okay, keep it. I moved to protest, but realized the futility of doing so over such a small amount. I slipped the coin in my pocket, supplementing my meager allowance ever so slightly. Lily shows no sign of wanting to get up, so I take a seat beside her and start eating my own ice cream. The summer weather's nice. Hopefully it will hold out for a while. Ah, you too. I'm beginning to think I'm the only person who prefers winter. I contemplate her statement for a long moment. Yeah, I think it might be. And just the intended reaction. She's cute when she's pouting. Still, I can't really imagine what's so good about winter. You can't go without bundling up, and you still freeze anyway. I used to live further north, where there'd be plenty of snow to play in. So, it's a little nostalgic. I don't like the heat very much either. At least you can wear skirts, so don't complain about that. Ah, yes. Very airy skirts and dresses. Oh, Lily would probably look good in it too, because she's got the long legs, I bet. Because she's tall, so yeah. She gives an amused giggle as we both get back to finishing off our already melting cones. I idly sit and watch the crowds going by as we eat, catching bits and pieces of conversation. Looking to Lily, I see her dutifully licking her ice cream from the top downwards, blissfully aware of the fact that it's beginning to melt. It's melting. Where? Down a bit? She lowers her mouth from the top of the cone, but has no idea where the ice cream's dripping. What follows is a game of guiding her left and right until she finally finds it. To any onlooker, it must seem absolutely bizarre. A girl with her eyes closed, turning her cone over and over as the guy next to her gives instructions. A strange variant of childhood blindfold games, maybe. In good time, we finally finished our treats, and while away the time conversing casually. Common sentence, Lily perks her head in her trademark manner. It's an unmistakable sign that something's caught her attention. What is it? Is Akira somewhere over there? I think I heard her. I raise an eyebrow as I look in the direction she's facing, somewhat doubtful of her ability to pick out Akira's lone voice in the din. Sure enough, though, a blonde girl in a suit can be seen through the tiny gaps between people walking every which way. I raise a hand and wave, trying to catch her attention. Sato! Hey, Sato! She stops in her tracks and looks toward me, evidently noticing my calls. As she does, I notice someone walking beside her. I can't get a look at whoever it is, though, before the two begin walking towards where we are. As they reach us, Lily and I stand and dust ourselves. Off. Akira? Oh, hey, you two. She nods towards me, a gesture which I quickly return. My gaze shifts towards the young girl next to her, boy, and our eyes meet. As they do, Akira plops a hand onto her head, a move which doesn't seem to faze her. I don't believe we met. I'm Hideaki. Pleased to meet you, Hisao. Guy's name, huh? I guess I just dodged a bullet there. He bows, somewhat restrained by Akira's hand being on his head. Oh, Hideaki's here too. Are you well? Akira's been taking very good care of me, thank you. Akira grins as if to affirm the point and rubs his head hard, dragging around in a circular motion. His dirty face during this is somewhat amusing. Uncle's out on business again, so I'm just taking him around town for today. I'd prefer to be spending the day on a date with my boyfriend, but Hideaki gives a cough to try and redirect Akira's thoughts. As he does so, So, though, I find mine wandering. They're related? And further, as first cousins? I suppose that explains why she's taken care of in any case. Okay, there we go. Now we're caught up. Okay. So this so far I remember now. Okay. Wait, how do I fucking... Oh, it's square. Okay, there we go. I forgot which button it was to, like, progress. Okay. Come to think of it, Hideaki, how did you know my name? Akira told me. Being a Yamako student, I suppose you're disabled in some way? Not everyone in Yamako's disabled. Which I only learned a handful of days ago. I give silent thanks to Shizune and Misha for their stream of information about how the school works. Because of them, I found out that since the school will accept practically anybody suffering from non-mental disabilities, it doesn't discriminate against healthy people either. It seems unlikely that many in good health would enroll there, though. While the standard of education is pretty high, it's extremely isolated and very much focused on helping disabled students. You're dodging the question. Damn, he's sharp. Before I can say another word, though, he decides to take a stab at it himself. If I were to call it myself, your heart. Oh, the music kind of dulled down a bit, and both Lily and Akira look a little, Akira looks mildly curiously at me. Her interest peaked as well. Sure was a lucky guess. How did you... You show no missing limbs or deformities, so external disabilities are out. Considering the lack of any strange mannerisms, it's also unlikely that you'd have had any mental disability. But Yamako doesn't take mentally disabled students. I know. Leaving that aside, the only possibility left is that of internal disabilities. I didn't know which one you might bear, so I guessed. Correctly, as it turns out. And your reaction confirmed my guess. More than a little bemused, I look to Akira. She grins and shrugs, obviously taking some enjoyment out of her partner's deductions. He's sharp, yeah, but more than a little unsympathetic. Logical, but lacking in tact. His attitude reminds me of Shizune in a way, as do his looks. Yeah, that's her brother. Alright, sorry, taking a little sip. May I ask why you're staring at me? Surely I'm not that unusual a specimen. I'm not the only boy that cross-dresses. Does he not know how unusual he looks? Okay, no, you can't say that, Hisao. I've seen a bunch of guys who look way better in makeup and dresses than I could ever hope for. We call them traps, but yeah. I have to admit though, I think the most well pulled off ones are the Japanese ones. When they really go for it, man, yeah, they look so much like a girl. Don't get me wrong, I've seen like American ones too and all that stuff, but I don't know, there's something a little different with a Japanese guy pulling it off, man. I have never seen the lines of, like, gender so blurred than I have in that moment. Not that, you know, not that it bothered me any which way, because, you know, like, I like both, so it's like, it just felt a little confusing, because, you know, it's like, wait. What should I call you then? Guys will always compete for first place. Will always compete for That and, you know, overall, I have to admit, drag shows in general, though, fun. They're fun to watch. Sashay away. I could overlook the spats and clothing as just being non-coincidental. The rip in his hair really is too much. It's entirely beside the point, though. Oh, excuse me, the Topo Chico's making me burp. Okay. Sorry, you just remind me of someone. Akira gives them a sharp jab with her elbow. Told you you're not that much different from her. He coughs into his hand to try and maintain an upright and serious demeanor. Chris Place is too much work. I see if you met my sister then. Perhaps my full name might help you. I am Hideaki Hakamichi. You're probably thinking my sister, Shizune Hakamichi. Oh, so he's Shizune's brother. Wait a minute. If Hideaki is the son of Akira's uncle and Shizune is his sister, then that means Lily and Shizune's fathers are brothers-in-law. Therefore, Lily and Shizune are first cousins? Lily groans in an uncharacteristically unrestrained manner. The reaction earns an amused smirk from her sister. The enmity between the two just took on another meaning. I had thought it simply a matter of difficulty of communication between the two. But a family feud makes things much more complicated. Oh, that's crazy. They didn't mention this at all in Shizune's story. You could choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. She gives a half-hearted shrug. She mustn't give as much weight to the two's conflict as I do. Well, that's how it is. What are you two up to anyway on this fine day? We're hoping for Hanako's... Oh, sorry, we're shopping for Hanako's birthday present. The day will be coming up soon, so this is the last chance we'll have before school starts again for the week. Akira makes a strange face, as if Lily had just said that the sky was in blue and the clouds not white. The music stopped. Isn't her birthday on the 10th next month? Yes. Why? Is something wrong? Kira's face seems to collapse. An utterly unbefitting expression for someone so rowdy and headstrong. The folks didn't call you yet. As Lily shakes her head cluelessly, I look at Hideaki to see if he knows anything about this. A simple shrug is his only answer. For a moment, Akira ponders what to do before smiling once again. The fact that she can hide her emotions so quickly and effectively is unsettling. Hey, Shorty, sorry, but could you hang out with Hisao for a while? He nods and waves her off, Akira placing an arm on Lily's shoulder as she guides her away out and out of earshot. Away and out of earshot. And so, I'm alone with Shorty. So... nice weather, isn't it? It seems so. I guess they dumped us. Indeed. What a farcical attempt at small talk. I've got no idea of how to talk to this guy, and his robotic responses aren't helping. Blood and a stone come to mind. At the end of the word, he begins to rock on his feet in an obvious gesture of boredom with this discussion. He really is like a little kid, despite his serious demeanor. Suspecting the conversation over, I decided to accomplish what I came here to do in the first place. I'm gonna go search for a present. Coming? Not much else to do. In a little while, we come to a small shop beside a convenience store. For once, the store windows aren't filled with electronics and computer games, but dolls, stuffed bears, and all manners of wood-crafted oddities. Othello's antiques. An antique store. Well, if there's anything in this town that suit Hanako, I guess it'd be here. I reach for the old-looking door handle, but pull back at the last minute as I realize my companion's gone adrift. Not coming in? I'll just be in the newsstand for a while. Don't mind me. His voice makes it painfully clear he has zero interest in what's in the store, and that he doesn't feel obligated to follow me. He wanders off without another word. I pushed the thick wooden door and entered the store, a bell above me ringing out. The musty smell of old books and wooden shelves is distinctly anachronistic. I look to the counter beside the door. The graying man behind it sits there silently, reading a tattered book. He certainly fits the look of the place. Slowly wandering through the aisles, the person I'm reminded of as I inspect each handcrafted or imported oddity, in turn, isn't Hanako. Crouching down, I examine the ancient oak desk inside the shop window. At least 30 dolls, all varying wildly in size and make. The only similarity between them is the long Victorian dresses they wear. I turn the price tag of one that looks to be about waist high. It's not in my price bracket at all. I do the same to each of them, getting more and more depressed as they get smaller and smaller in size. That is, until I reach the very smallest one. It's affordable, just, yet of quality make and with long auburn hair and a little blue dress. I decide it's the kind of present Hanako would appreciate. Pretty looking and far from gaudy. After I carefully pick it up, I decide to keep looking around the store. I'm not sure whether it's because I like the atmosphere or out of simple curiosity. Peeking around the corner before I go to the next aisle, I see that the shelves in this one are stocked with wooden toys. From toy cars to intricate automatons. Tucked behind a line of nutcrackers, I notice a little plain wooden box. It's surprisingly light as I pick it up with my free hand. The lid only needs the smallest movement to pop open. The little metal drum inside began to rotate immediately. Oh, it's a music box. For seconds on end, I simply stand there, listening to the palm-sized melody. As it plays, I take the tiny price tag in my fingers and bring it up to my face. The minuscule cursive writing taking some effort to read. It's affordable. Sort of. Grimacing slightly, I close the lid and make my way to the counter with doll and music box in hand. When I lay the two on the counter, the man behind it sits up and takes stock of them. He doesn't hide very well his surprise at someone of my age buying them. It's painful, but I hand over the money for the two and leave the store with a small, opaque bag in hand. Hideaki being there takes me by surprise. Oh, hi. I thought you'd be at the newsstand. Akita gave me a call. She's waiting for us at the fountain with Lily. At least that solves the issue of trying to find them again. We head back to the fountain. Hideaki's immaculate posture and presentation, despite his appearance, makes for a strange contrast, even as we walk. Oh, things don't look good here. Lily and Akita stand there waiting for us. Their faces hard to read. Hey, are you ready to go, Shorty? Hideaki's mood seems to improve as he rejoins her. See ya, Lily. He's out. Tell Hanako I said happy birthday. We will. Bye. Goodbye, Akira. And with that, the two disappear into the fracas of the afternoon city crowd. Turning to Lily, I notice she's carrying a small bag. It's now that I realize why her disposition felt different from before. While Lily is typically the type to wear her emotions on her sleeve, her expression and tone are clouded and difficult to read. It's more than a little off-putting, but given the effort she's making to hide her emotions, I doubt she wants to be cornered on why she's feeling this way. Already bought Hanako a present? Yes. Have you? Yeah. Shall we head back to the bus stop then? Okay, there should be a bus back to Yamako pretty soon. And with that, we begin to walk. She looks like she's getting sadder. That's the scene trend. And you're still gonna say, no, I don't know what she's feeling? No, look at her, she's obviously sad. Oh man. It feels strange compared to before. Lily's hand on my forearm feels unusually tense, and the whole atmosphere is extraordinarily awkward. The silence continues for a long while. I really don't like seeing her like this. Hanako's birthday party is going to have to be held earlier. Is the 4th going to be alright for you? I have no other possible obligations anyway. So I reflexively and nod. Only afterwards I remember that doing so was pointless and quickly answer so my speech. She tries to collect herself, a task that looks almost pitiable and how plain it is to see how distant her thoughts are. Don't say how distant her thoughts are. Like I said, moments ago she looked sad. Hence I'm seeing death. Indeed, Ailey. Sorry, Hisao. You said the bus would be coming soon, right? Oh, that's right. And now that she says that, I have an idea. Actually, do you have anything to do later today? Doing some reading today, yep. I am not... I don't have the energy to play Xenoverse right now. Like, I don't want to put effort into playing the game, so I thought reading was the most low effort thing I could do. So... I don't believe so. Why do you ask? This is the point where I normally take your hand and rush you somewhere, but even without that, you'll have to trust me. Okay? Take her hand and gently lead her on, her distant face replaced by one of mild surprise and curiosity. Oh good, you're gonna do something to cheer her up, thank God. As the waitress sets the cup of tea and cup of coffee that ordered onto the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really looked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Having managed to recover a little, Lily tentatively sips at her cup, as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is. Ah, this is wonderful. Hisao, how did you know that this was... I asked for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that it would be her favorite flavor. Or at least one she liked. I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream. Oh, of course. A tea connoisseur I'm definitely not. Oh, it was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? She puts her teacup down and gives a tiny nod. That familiar small smile thankfully perched on her face once again. Drinking tea is... calming, I think. The amount you drink, are you sure you're not addicted to it? Caffeine's addiction is pretty common nowadays. Did I ever say I wasn't? She lets out a giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose, and there are worse things to be addicted to. French vanilla black tea, huh? I'll have to remember that. For a while, we both silently drank. It's comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her, until she sets down her cup. Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a slightly odd question? That depends on the question, I guess? I was wondering what your favorite color is. Everyone has one after all. I almost replied before realizing why this seemingly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite color? But... She gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving it. I've always had a thing for green. I'd say that's my favorite. Oh, green is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color? Oh, I suppose... grass, fields, and trees in summer. The army as well, with camouflage. Men always seem to like the military. But that sounds like a nice color. A very nice color. She nods her head a little, as if approving of the choice. Considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind, labeling it by the association seems reasonable enough. If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours? White. I'm told that's the color of snow. And of ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. You know better than me then, if you only like that color because of a favorite food. I guess white is nice too, though. And speaking of colors, it'll be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Long day of work can be like that. Yep, it sure is. I did overtime today, so yeah. It was, we did about $110,000 of production today. So yeah, it was busy. Lily offers her hand, which I take in mind to help lever her up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. It doesn't seem to bother her at all, though. Well, it seems obvious why. It feels like just one more ladylike aspect of her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this. Oh, thank you, Hisao. She gives an earnest smile at the gesture. A reward much greater than that of her words. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. Oh shit, what the fuck? It looks even spookier. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly. Probably because of the day's events. While I'm still concerned over Lily's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact I managed to cheer her up even slightly, it feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a little bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before. Oh. That was a date, wasn't it? It was. That doesn't elude either of us. The question's answer being so self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I think this feeling is bad. I don't think this feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is. I certainly can't be sure, but it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding? Empathy? Searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult, nonetheless. Would you like to do this again sometime, Lily? Without shopping for presents. The tentative question is met with the same look from Lily as before. Her pale skin makes the rosy tinge of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable, and her face, though still pointed to the street ahead of her, lowers. Just a little. Okay. Next scene. Alright, we had a first date with Lily already. I walked down the hall of the girls' dormitories, my school bag in hand. Oh, God. Why do I feel like Kenji's gonna show up right now? A doll lies inside, carefully placed on top of a small box. I've been carrying the box in there for a while now. Still not sure what to do with it. This whole situation, come to think of it, is bizarre. While I've known of Hanago's upcoming birthday party for a while now, I had no idea of exactly what the celebrations would be until I found a single note left in the abandoned tea room earlier today. I hold it up and read it again, double-checking the instructions. The plain black handwriting is fairly legible despite Lily's blindness, clearly thanks to considerable effort and care. She actually wrote this? That's impressive. Have you played Amori? This font reminds me of that game. Oh, yeah. I have. I've already played Amori, and I got, like, the best ending. He's out. Oh, God, hold on. I'm so sorry. There's a burp coming up right at the same time. Okay. He's out. We'll be holding a party at my place. Please come at 6 o'clock to room 225 in the girls' dormitory. Sorry for noting you this way, but I have class representative duties. Lily Sato. Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dormitory room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually get 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief oh god, man. I took a sip during that scene transition right now of the Topo Chico, and there is the burping coming up again. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can just pick out Hanako and Lily's voices. As they finish, Lily calls out. Might that be Hisao? Yep, I got the note you left for me. You can come in. The door is unlocked. Glad that I managed to get the right room. I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. Lily sits at a little table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in only my normal school clothes, I feel quite out of place. Nobody told me this was a pajama party. I steal a quick glance at the lovely side of the two, my eyes tearing themselves from Lily's... from Lily's... I knew it! See, I told you she would have good legs. From Lily's long, thin, and pale legs, only with a measure of reluctance. Hi. I think I brought everything that was needed. She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sight she makes. The thin, dark blue silk of her pajamas really suits her. Dark blue, that looks like black. Unless the lighting makes it look black and it's actually navy blue. Accentuating both her eyes and her curves. The look of her last night, that tentative and almost shy demeanor, seems all but replaced by her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence return, though I can't help casting my mind back to how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite her in her gown. It isn't a surprise that she wears something so conservative, though it definitely looks cute. Hi, Hanako. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
She's unusually skittish, despite the fact that she's warmed up to me considerably over the weeks we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess. He infiltrated the enemy base. Oh yeah, according to Kenji, he infiltrated the base. This is like every teenager's dream, right?
Feel free to take a seat, Hisao. I'll just pour you to some tea.
Sure thing. Lily takes a steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups as I take a seat beside them, setting my bag against the nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realized that this is the first time I've ever been in Lily's room. Ooh, you're in a girl's room. First thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume, or nail polish. Could be anything but girls, really. Another is the plain nature of the room, visually. Beige walls, a smart yet unadorned cabinet, a lack of posters or wall hangings. It's distinctly utilitarian, something I should have anticipated given her blindness. The only thing that really seems out of the ordinary is several piles of books sitting on the floor, each reaching from roughly knee height to waist height. Some of them have printed titles, others are entirely blank except for dots of braille. The fact that the ones with printed titles are uniformly in English is interesting, though not completely unexpected. She did mention her parents impressing the language upon her and Akira after all. Your room looks nice, Lily. I hear a call of thanks from beside my shoulder. Looking back to Hanako, her gaze is fixed on her lap, and her hands are nervously clutching her gown. It's now that I notice why. With these clothes on, the extent of her scarring is far more visible, reaching down her neck and out to cover her right shoulder. Considering this is a party for her, she doesn't really look like she's enjoying the experience now that I'm here. So how old are you turning? 18? Her look of surprise, not at all helped by her total lack of skill at hiding her feelings, shows that she was trying to mentally tune me out. This is really quite awkward.
Yes?
On the plus side, there's only 2 more years so you can drink. So who's older, you or Lily?
Lily. She had her birthday in February. What about yours?
Oh, earlier this year, so it's already passed. Unstated is that it passed while I was stuck in the hospital. That was a particularly low point in the experience. Conversation with her dries up as quickly as expected. It isn't long before Lily's finished preparing our drinks, setting down the 3 teacups in front of us. I pick mine up, immediately noticing much stronger aroma and taste than the tea we've been having. Huh. It tastes different than the tea we have in school. It's a different variety, rather than the kind we've been having there. You've never tasted orange japur before? I don't know how to say that. Not that I can remember. I usually drink coffee after all. Like when we were in town. And this is nice though. As they settle down and sip, Hanako seems to become more relaxed. Or at least a bit less tense about my presence. Wonder why the chronically shy girl has a problem with the guy seeing her in her nightgown. Yeah, I know, right? Meanwhile, of course, the blind girl doesn't know how she looks, so she's like, what's up? We all finish our cups at about the same time, with Hanako failing rather badly at hiding her anticipation for the cake that's sitting on the side, begging to be eaten. Come to think of it, I'm feeling very eager myself. First things first, though. Lily.
Yes, now is good.
Each of us knowing exactly what the other means. I lean sideways and dig around in my bag for the doll I bought Hanako as Lily gets up and retrieves her gift. Hiding our gifts in our hands, we present them both on the table at the same time. Happy birthday! Hanako silently sits looking at them for seconds on end, out of sheer surprise. My little wooden doll, replete with Victorian-era dress and little hat, lies next to a light brown and fluffy stuffed bear from Lily. She clutches at her gown as she moves to speak, not taking her eyes off the modest presents.
Thank you, Lily and Hisao.
Oh. Her voice begins to crack as Lily reaches forward, wrapping her in a soft embrace. The sight of Hanako holding Lily so tightly is heartwarming. So much so that I couldn't wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. As Lily gently rests her face on Hanako's head, she speaks so quietly and softly that I can barely hear. Happy birthday, Hanako. Happy birthday. Hanako gives a small nod, holding on to Lily for a time before breaking off and wiping an eye. I guess that for Hanako, simply having someone, anyone, to be there and love her would be special. The fact that Lily and I can now share that role for her is something I think I'll always be grateful for. Oh, god damn it. That first line should not have hit me that hard as I thought, as I expected. Because it's so sad. Just reading it like... okay, no, it's fine, I'm fine. Oh. Alright, give me a second, let me drink. Okay. Oh, okay. The tears go back to your face. You get your bag. It reminds me though, like from what was it? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, when the policeman, like, I think it was the number 2, right? The second movie where he's like, he starts crying. He's like, "No, you get back up in there!" And it goes straight. It just snips up into his eye. Oh man. Rip indeed, yeah. Oh, Hanako. Hanako gently takes the doll and teddy bear, holding them both to her chest as she warmly smiles. Wait. The music box. Oh, is he hanging onto it for Lily? Okay, yeah, that would actually make more sense. I thought he might have gotten it for Hanako because I thought like, wait, maybe Hanako might like it too because it's pretty simple looking. And but now that I think about it, it works really well for Lily as well. Like probably more so for her since, it's something she can hear. Okay. Hisao has thought of everything. For a long time, all three of us simply sit in happy silence. The quiet is not broken until Lily's soft voice beckons. Shall we have at the cake then? Cake time! Her proposal is met with two looks of unhidden anticipation. Look at even Hanako, she's like happy, like come on, get the cake out. No argument for me.
Okay.
Whew, that was good. Contentedly sit back, with Lily and Hanako looking just as satisfied with the food as I. It took some effort, but we managed to finish off the cake in one go. Oh, whoops, I thought I read he saw for a second.
I don't think I could fit any more in.
I think next time I'll buy a smaller cake. Hanako and I give a chuckle, but I can't help noticing that come this time next year, we'll have graduated from Yamaku. The fact is somewhat depressing, since I finally feel as if my life is starting to get back into some kind of order. I only look around Lily's neat and orderly room. Her books catch my eye once again. This may be a little impetuous, but my curiosity gets the better of me. Besides, I don't think she'll mind in any case. Hey, Lily, do you mind if I take a look at one of your books?
You're quite welcome to, Hisao.
That said, if you can overcome 2 language barriers, I'll be quite impressed. 2? Braille and... Oh, right, English. The universal language, English. That's where you're wrong, boyo. She gives a nod. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it.
One could say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection.
She says it in jest, but I am a little disappointed. Having all these books around me with no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over to the closest pile, plucking the topmost book with only a cursory glance. Death on the Nile in large letters on the cover is the only printed text to be seen. Oh, it's all in Braille. I sit down for a while with the book open in my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might to feel out the dots of Braille printed on each page, they seem to blend into one another and become indistinct. I thought this would be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice, though, I could see someone with a better sense of touch than mine managing to read at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence that had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong?
Quite the opposite. Your curiosity is quite endearing.
I am inordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act.
To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you were a new transfer student from another school. If you pitied us, I would have been quite offended.
There's a certain edge to Lily's voice. I don't like the music faded out. When did I quite probably place his pride? Glancing over to Hanako, she seems even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. I wouldn't worry about that. Considering the position I found myself in, I'm perhaps the last person that should be dispensing pity on others. That, and I'm pretty sure, like, now that I think about it, like, Hisao would probably hate to have pity on him. And I'm pretty sure he might have felt that while he was in the hospital. Especially when, like, some of his classmates and then that one girl that liked him, who confessed to him, was showing up, like, here and there. He must have felt like, no, you're just here because of pity, right? You just feel bad for me. So I think he would understand the dislike of being pitied. My parents' first interactions with me after my heart attack. I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any further, but not soon enough. Both the girls seem to be put off. Lily especially. Uh, uh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I would come to easily recognize. Hear something? The door. Everyone looks toward it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns. A flash of yellow and black slipping through. Akira Sato is in the house. Happy birthday, Hanako.
Thank you.
Akira takes a seat at the table as she plops her tall bag beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before. Not a huge surprise, given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be the least bit put off by Hanako's scarring, despite its prominence. But she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you'd have to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Kinda. I feel bad about ditching the guys doing overtime, so I gotta get back soon. But I feel bad about not coming to your cute little Hanako's birthdays too. So for now, I'm here. She grins wildly at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downwards toward her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and retract over and over, as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than when she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her appreciation to any great extent. Oh, hey! Ray, I didn't see you there. Just doing some reading. I was gonna play Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but then I decided not to. It was a long day today, so after I saw some of your stream, I had to like bounce off and then, obviously focus on work, and then and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming. That's what happened. That's what happened at work. Work didn't stop coming. Oh goodness. So, yeah, it was rough. So I managed to like decompress a little bit when I got home, but I just don't have it in me to give the effort to play a game well enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something laid back. Oh god, I got PTSD. Yeah, so I decided, you know what, the most low effort thing I could do is read, so here I am. Got a bunch of drinks next to me, well, two really, but I am prepared to read. This is a dating game, well, no, not even a game, it's more like a visual novel. A dating visual novel about a guy who has a heart defect, right? Yeah, it was basically a heart defect. And he's dating girls who have their own disabilities. So far it's actually pretty good. So yeah, super casual. And plus, you kind of missed it a little bit earlier. I had like a moment of like, oh no, this hit me in the heart. I actually teared up a little bit. So, yeah, damn, emotions. Anyway. Yeah, so here we go. Let's get back into it. Now the sister is here. Not that maybe will give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes me respect how well Akira can handle her, sorry. Making her so happy compared to what little I could do. Now then, before I go, she reaches in the bag beside her and grandly displays its contents. Wait, I thought they couldn't drink yet. You're giving them wine when they can't drink it? Third time with Mooney, always something to look forward to. Damn, those emotions indeed, yeah. French, you're giving them French wine. Hanuko's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Okay, so the girl over here in the blonde, she's blind. This one... I mean, she's heavily scarred, but does that count as a disability? I mean, that's more like cosmetic, right? Like, and like, yeah. Or does she have damage to her right hand? Because, like, if you burn down just far enough, like, you could, like, mess with your nerves. Sparkling wine, probably. I hope so, yeah. And does she have both eyes? That is another good question. Yeah, I honestly, I can't really tell the extent of the scarring, so it's hard to... We can't be too sure, actually. It's the scarring in conjunction with the Oh, so hers is also like a mental thing. Damn. Akira... Oh, wait, whoops. Wrong tone. Is it stated it's a burn scar? I think so. It would look like, yeah, it was just... I mean, it looks like... The way it looks like a burn scar. Because the way that looks, it's very unique. It's, you know, it's unique in its own. Akira, this isn't... What is it? Wine. One red, one white. Akira, that's... Relax. It's not like Shizune is here to scold you. Lily has a point. That's not exactly allowed on campus. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Rich words for someone practically drooling as he examines the bottle. She got me there. I'm genuinely interested in trying some, even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell me that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight that she knows Akira would win due to simply not caring enough about those funny rules and regulations. LAS hasn't reached your scalp. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please. I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. So soon? But you only just arrived. Yeah, sorry, Lily. Good to see you two again, though. And you, Hisao. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. She lowers herself with a grunt and walks out of the room, leaving us alone with the two items on the table. Just hide them very well. Just don't hide it on your bed, though. Interesting. Remember, guys, that's what we learned from Kiryu from Yakuza 0. Despite how much you think it's a good idea, don't hide things under your bed. Or under your mattress. Granted, that fits better with magazines, but you know. I think the general idea still applies. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So... what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She really doesn't seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. No sooner does she say it than I take a quick glance around the room for glasses. Oh my god, they're all excited. Yeah, let's try it. A small groan above me reminds me that Lily retired to rest on her bed for a bit a few minutes ago. Almost completely drained of energy, I managed to stand up and drag myself to the side of the bed, sitting down and leaning my back against it. Good god. I made a mistake. Ugh. Lily's groan sounds lifeless. Too much to drink? My head hurts. Yeah, too much to drink. I rest my head back and idly stare at the ceiling. What an unmitigated disaster. Like proper idiots, we all drank the night away with one glass after another. Hanako simply fell to the side to sleep, and it's a miracle I don't feel as ill as Lily. Hey, Hisao? I'm sorry about today. I didn't think this would happen. Oh, it's fine, Lily. To tell the truth, I had a lot of fun today. The classic overindulgence. They were underage teenagers. I mean, at least they were 18, but they're not old enough to drink, obviously. But yeah, they were 18. They're like, yeah, but it's some alcohol. Let's try. Let's go. They were curious, and they didn't know their limits. Now they know their limits. I think. Hopefully. Really? I think Hanako did too. Nah, she certainly did. There's a short silence before another groan resounds from the what? Supin? Lily. Are you okay? As you said, I just drank too much. What's the time? Oh, the time? It's... Go look at my wristwatch. Its numerals barely legible in the gloom. About midnight. Curfew's in effect then. Yeah, guess as much. Well, I'll have to sleep here for tonight. As soon as I say it, I hear the sheets moving as Lily starts to sit up. Hanako. No, go back to sleep. Don't try to get up. Hisao, I have to... You're in worse shape than me by any stretch. Get some rest. But what about... I'll grab some spare blankets and put them over her. Don't worry. As I give a deep yawn and stand to retrieve them, I hear her lie back down with a soft thud. Thank you, Hisao. No problem. It's the least I can do. You look outright wasted. I'm not wasted, just a little bit tired. She starts pouting, a slight slur beginning to distort her words as the alcohol takes hold of her again. I grab a couple of blankets rolled up at the end of her bed. Quietly walking over to Hanako, I carefully lay the blankets over her peacefully sleeping figure, making sure not to wake her up. Oh, so it's supine. Okay. Oh, the thick smell of alcohol coming off her breath makes me doubt she'd wake up no matter what I did, though. I stand and take one last measure of the room. 2 girls, both very drunk, and 1 guy sleeping overnight with them in the female student storm. What a scandal that'd be if it broke out. As I move to sit back down at the side of the bed, I steal one last glance at Lily. Her sprawling, disheveled figure lies resting peacefully, slightly turned to the side. I crouch down to get a better look. Oh? Don't watch her sleep like a weirdo, jeez. Her white skin blends in with the white pillow of the bed, a look of slumber-born peacefulness in her face. Usually she seems so confident and forward, always there and caring for Hanako. Now though, she seems painfully delicate. I think back to Hanako's presence. I thought it'd be a nice occasion for her, but I'd hardly expect it to be so moving. One birthday after another, year after year. Just she and Lily. All alone. I guess it wasn't just the presents she liked. Resigning myself to an uncomfortable sleep, I sit down at the side of the bed once again and rest my tired arms beside me. Hey, Hisa? Lily's voice is so quiet I can barely hear it. She must be on the verge of sleep. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you? For what?
For being here.
Oh, that's okay. As I hear a deep breath, it's obvious Lily's gone to sleep. After closing my eyes, it doesn't take long for slumber to take me as well. Is it time for the scene? Oh, okay. Hisa? Hisa, are you... The soft, barely audible voice lingering in my ears slowly wakes me. I wish I could be awoken like this more often. It's just gonna flashbacks to all the sleepovers I had as a kid. With a mumble, I slowly open my... Whoa! Ah! Taken by surprise with the face hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I make our heads... make our heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain. Lily is sounding more like a squeak toy than a person. Ow, 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 ow. I slowly rub my forehead with one hand, supporting myself with the other. Lily lies a few feet ahead, doing just the same, her face obviously pained. Oh, sorry, your face was kind of close and I acted on reflex. Are you okay? My head. Seems she's not actually okay. Come to think of it, I doubt that the impact alone is what's causing her head so much pain. Oh my god, yeah. She must... See, kids, this is why it's important to hydrate while you're drinking. Hangover? You drank a fair bit last night. She silently nods in confirmation as I lever myself up. I offer a hand to her and help her back to her feet. Glancing behind her, I find that Hanako's still fast asleep.
It's not fair. I only drank as much as you did.
That's different from what I remember. And anyway, girls have a lower tolerance than men.
That doesn't help.
Fine, I'll get you a glass of water. Just be careful not to trip over Hanako. I rub the sleep out of my eyes, or at least some of it, as I walk to the counter. Tending to someone with a hangover isn't the way I like to spend a morning. It only takes a few seconds for the glass to fill, the clear water reflecting the sliver of light that makes it through the thin curtains. It looks like Lily's taking a seat on the side of the bed. I walk over to her while taking care to step over the peacefully sleeping Hanako, and place a glass into her outstretched hands.
Thank you.
No problem. Take a seat next to her, the soft bed having a surprising amount of give. Mystical, he still didn't have a heart attack with excessive alcohol. Yeah, huh? That's surprising too. She drinks slowly and methodically. A long silence passes with only Hanako's soft breathing to be heard. With some measure of guilt, I look at Lily's face and attempt to read her expression. Her brow is furrowed, and she looks to be lost in thought. For a moment I hesitate, but eventually I place a hand on her shoulder in an attempt to reassure her. I didn't expect her to flinch rather noticeably at that, though. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Lily quickly shakes her head in a manner somewhat more violent than usual for her. She takes a long breath to steady herself before letting her head sink.
I must look terrible right now.
I moved to protest, but quickly realized that it would be futile to do so. That said, I want her to open up more. If you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Lily gives a self-deprecating snort, as if to mock her own emotions.
There's just a lot happening right now. I'm sorry for being so strange recently, especially back when we were in town. Even now, I'm a bit confused about everything.
Oh, believe me, I know how that feels. She smiles wistfully, resting a cheek on the backs of her fingers.
We're a couple of broken young fools, aren't we? Oh, come on, don't say that. Come graduation, we'll back out into the real world. The real world? Sometimes I surprise myself with the way I think about things. I guess the strange, divorced feeling of Yamako in the surrounding town compared to the outside world still hasn't become natural. Maybe it never will. It's strange in hindsight. Being isolated from society like this doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. A wry grin on her face, Lily seems to share the same sense of amusement at the idea. Eventually, though, her smile drops. I'll be going back to Scotland for a week or two, soon. Is that why we had to reschedule Hanako's birthday party? She gives an affirmative nod. You'll be able to see your family again, at least. You're not looking forward to it? I haven't met my family in 6 years. I don't even know how to act around them anymore. Wait, what? My mouth hangs open as I try to process what she said. If she was 18, that means she had been only 12 when they left. I may have seen very little of my parents, but well, with them both working long hours, but that's... I feel utterly useless as I struggle to find some way to respond. That's... But why? Why did they leave? Or why are they inviting Akira and me back? Both, I suppose. My father's business has its headquarters in Scotland, and an executive position became available for him there. In the end, he had to move permanently. My mother followed him, but Akira and I stayed in Japan for the sake of both Akira's job within the Japanese branch of my father's company, and my education. As for the latter, one of my aunts is gravely sick. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. It feels strange, really. We're being summoned there for her, yet we've barely met before. I can't even remember the sound of her voice. Equally strange is the total lack of antipathy she feels towards her family for doing such a thing. I can't help feeling slightly humbled. That said, her wistful exterior is just hiding her emotions. Seeing her like this is depressing. Knowing what to do, I lift myself off the bed. Lily notices the bed movements, her head perking up and her hand reaching sideways to feel where I was. Hisa? I walk over to my bag, still leaning against the wall, unbuckling the front flap and retrieving the opaque bag from within. I take the small, plain box in my hands. Oh, there it is, the music box. Hold your hands out, Lily. She looks surprised for a moment, but eventually acquiesces. I'm amused by her look of curiosity when I place the music box in her open palms. Her typically delicate way of handling it makes it seem as if it were fragile enough to break if breathed on. She wordlessly brings it in front of her face, her slender fingers feeling it out its contours and patterning. Eventually, her fingers find the recessed line between the lid and the body of the box, and her thumb effortlessly pops open the lid. I take a seat on the bed next to her, watching her face silently and intently. She sits completely motionless as she listens to the diminutive, tinny melody, her mouth just slightly open. It takes a long while before she closes the lid with a small snap, bringing the curtain down, the miniature performance playing in her hands. The smile on her face, gentle and wistful, shows I made the right decision. Think of it as a going-away present for your trip to Scotland. I will. The rest of the shuffling can be heard from the floor in front of us, the sound having awoken Hanako. She climbs out of the blankets I put over her, looking befuddled and wiping the sleep from her eyes. Oh, I see you're finally up. Huh? What?
Hanako looks around the room with her eyes howling half open, her mind far from being as awake as her body. Her dazed state makes me and Lily chuckle. As Lily gets off the bed and tends to Hanako, I take one last look around the room. I guess I better get going then. There'll be questions if I am seen leaving the girls' dormitories in the morning. Goodbye, Hisao. Oh, goodbye. I stand and walk to the door, picking up my somewhat lighter bag along the way. After I leave the room and enter the hallway, though, I hear Lily's footsteps behind me. Huh? What's wrong? Without a word, she strides up to me. I freeze as I feel her hand slide into my cheek, seemingly every nerve taking in the feeling of her fingers and palm upon it. Immediately after, her face slowly moves next to mine. A light, momentary touch of her lips brushing against my other cheek. For a moment, everything seems to stand still. I absentmindedly bring my fingers to my cheek, as if to try and recapture that fleeting feeling. Oh, Lily. That's my thank you, Hisao. Thank you? For your present. Have a nice day in school. And with that, she disappears behind her door and gently closes it, the muffled voices of her and Hanako audible through it, much as they were yesterday night. I think I'd be hard-pressed not to have a nice day after that. I walk away with a certain spring to my step. Man only got a kiss to the cheek and he's all like bouncing on his walk. I think there were some people around that glanced at me emerging from the girls' dormitory building, but I find it difficult to care. Hee-chan. Go away. Hee-chan. Leave me alone. Come on, Hee-chan. Let me sleep. After 2 nights of not being able to sleep at all, the last thing I want is to be woken when I finally manage to. Maybe it may be the last period of class with a textbook as my pillow, but I'll take whatever sleep I can get by this point. See, Hee-chan? Even Shi-chan wants you to get up. I don't care what Shizune wants, leave me alone. Jeez, Hee-chan, I'll just have to wake. Oh. Wait. Misha's going to... You? This is bad. I'm up. You don't have to... I feel my face flowering into a scarlet red blush. The students still in class are sitting bolt upright and staring at the shouting fool who was sleeping just moments before. Damn it. I let my head smack back down to the table with a noticeable thud. Misha's trademark uncontrolled laughter reverberates through the classroom. As I turn my mournful eyes to the perspective of Shizune beside her, she carefully adjusts her glasses, desperately trying to maintain a look of serious disapproval. Feeling like a Chad, yet. Narrowing my eyes, I could see the badly hidden grin spreading across her face. It too, Shizune. She looks away quickly as she crosses her arms tightly, barely on the edge of her control. Wahaha! Misha's laughter doubles in volume as she glances at Shizune. All I can do is drag my hand down my face in resignation. You two... Who was the one who slept in class, Hee-chan? Yeah, it was me. Poor Shi-chan was having a fit trying to wake you up, weren't you? I move my eyes back to the standoff Shizune, who, with a single huff of confirmation, returns to looking away with her arms crossed. Wait, why was Shizune trying to wake me up? Shi-chan wanted to give you the handouts the substitute teacher gave out while Hee-chan was sleeping. Handouts? I suddenly find 2 sheets of paper thrust down in front of my face. Just shoved it right in his face. Following the hand holding them, I see the still pounding figure looking down at me with a distinct scowl. I guess I really am in the wrong here. Sorry about that. No dice. Her irritated face still holds. I clasp my hands together and flick my head downwards in apology. Very, very sorry. She huffs and silly drops the papers on the desk. Damn. I look up over my hands to see Shizune and Misha signing frantically to each other. A look of frustration on Shizune's face. It looks to be less of a dialogue and more of a tirade, punctuated with sidelong glances at me. To say it's unsettling is an understatement. The two suddenly stop signing and look at me in unison, both having exactly the same look of disapproval. In one fluid motion, Misha's hand suddenly extends high above me and comes rocketing down. Before I can even hope to react, my head is sent bouncing up and down like a jack-in-the-box. I quickly bring my hands to my head, more out of reflex than actual pain. Ow, what was that for? I open my eyes to see the two grinning at each other while exchanging an enthusiastic thumbs up.
Shi-chan says she forgives you now, He-chan.
Could you forgive me with a little less force next time? I look at the two with a blank face. Misha and Shizune 1, Hisao 0.
Oh, Shi-chan always says that you should check your student mail more often.
She produces a bright yellow envelope and hands it over with an exuberant grin. Strange. Who could have written me a letter? Now's not the time, and most definitely not the place to find out, though. Giving up on the nap so cruelly stolen from me, I rub my forehead and slowly get up, putting the sheets and envelope in my bag before swinging it over my shoulder. I take a step back and move to depart with a small bow, while Misha clutches her sides, laughing, and Shizune nods back in a curt farewell. I join the flow of students exiting the open door, and turn the corner into the hallway. Oh, it's Hanako again. Only turned up face-to-face with Hanako. Whoa, hey Hanako.
Good afternoon, Hisao.
Silence falls between us as busily chatting students passes by. She's fidgeting constantly, her eyes drawn to her rather unremarkable footwear. I take the bridge of my nose and my fingers while I blink my eyes heavily in an attempt to make things seem clear. I'm barely staying awake as it is. Hanako, you want to say something. What is it?
I wanted to give you this.
Huh? She holds out a small rectangular piece of paper. I blink again to make out the text though through barely open eyes. Slowly starting to make out what's written. Eggs, bread loaf, whole grain, cereal time. A shopping list? I look upwards, raising an eyebrow.
I usually go shopping with Lily, but I can't come, so...
You want me to run errands for you?
It's okay if you don't want to. I just thought that maybe,
She's panicking. I sigh. Yet another battle lost, though this time by weakly fought surrender. I smile tiredly and rest a hand on her head to calm her down. It's fine. I was going to go anyway. Just the stuff on this list. She nods and bows deeply, twice, as if to make her gratitude perfectly clear.
We were going to meet outside the school gates at 6. Thank you. I was going to get it, but I need to study for the test tomorrow.
Test? Oh, that's right, science. How are you doing with it? She brightens ever so slightly.
I've been spending more time on it than before. I think I can do okay.
Oh, good work then. She too starts smiling, and much more earnestly than I at that. I have full confidence that I can do fine in it without any extra studying, but the fact that she's putting in the effort instead of just reading in the library is heartening. I'll grab your stuff and take it to your dorm in the evening. See ya. In a small way, we part ways. I'll go do my homework before meeting Lily. I should be able to take care of it in time. Wrestling with a particularly complicated math problem has caused me to be a little bit late for my meeting with Lily. Only a couple of minutes, but enough to make me step smartly out into the courtyard and into the school gate. I make a right turn and start my way towards the small town below, leaving a few students turning the other way to the bus station. I slip my right hand into my pocket as I walk into the orange sunlight of dusk. Thankfully, the sweltering summer heat started to die down, making way for a pleasant, cool breeze. When I stretch my hands high above my head, a familiar figure takes form, cane in her right hand. Ah, Lily. She stops and turns around, swiveling her head slightly to try and work out exactly where the voice came from. Hey, it's me. I quickly catch up to her, coming up beside her and matching her slow pace as we resume walking. Good afternoon, Hisao. Hey there. I glance up at the sky. A distinct tinge of orange discolors the clouds, washing the footpath in its light. Long shadows from the trees fall across the wide road down the hill. So, Hisao, what brings you here? Oh, just going to town and grab some groceries. Hanako sent me. Hanako sent you? Yeah, so she needed to study for a test tomorrow. I was gonna come down anyway, so I'll just buy her stuff as well. Unspoken is that Lily really could use some help to get food. But it's an obvious fact that neither of us needs to state. It's good to hear she's studying for it. I thought the same thing when she asked me to come with you. Continue walking down the street, the familiar sound of her cane echoing through the air as we go. Except for the occasional passing car and the leaves whispering in the branches, there's a blissful silence. Thank God I can finally relax for the first time today. Oh God, that's how I felt when I came home. I glance over at Lily. That porcelain face of hers never seems to lack that air of relaxed confidence. I guess the same could be said of her personality too. As she silently walks, her face remaining pointed to the street ahead of her, I look ahead and savor the cool air blowing over my face. This is probably the calmest moment I've had since the about-face my life took so recently. To have it while walking to get some groceries. What a weird life. I feel the crumpled up note rubbing against my hand in my pocket, and pulling out to check its contents. Let's see here. Eggs, bread, cereal, thyme, lettuce, shaved ham. That sounds like quite a bit to carry back along with your own. Yeah, just how much does this girl eat anyway? My mind suddenly clicks that yes, there actually is a person beside me. Oh, well, wait, I mean... She laughs wholeheartedly. My, Hisao. Her giggles punctuate her words, though she's making a little effort to suppress them. Quite direct today, aren't we? Yeah, you got me there. Still, it is quite a bit. Usually I go shopping with Hanako, so I know what she buys. It's the same thing every week. Huh. She a good cook? She gives a nervous giggle. It's usually me who ends up cooking. I used to do so for Akira, so it's no problem doing it for Hanako as well. You can cook? But... A short hum with an amused lilt emanates from beside me. I wonder if the fact that she seems amused by my comments so often is actually genuine, or rather just from a want to make me more comfortable in addressing her blindness. There are ways around it. Some meals are more difficult to cook than others because of being unable to see what I'm doing. But usually when it takes a little more time. Fingers can double as very useful measurement tools, for example. Oh, it makes sense, but she had to be pretty careful not to hurt herself. I wonder how many times that's happened, given that it sounds like she's cooked alone for possibly years, while Akira worked and her parents were gone. With that, the conversation trails off. Compared to the awkward silences of Hanako, Lily seems genuinely content to say what she thinks and stay quiet when there's nothing to say. The slick road under my feet is bathed in an orange glow, an occasional fallen leaf crunching underfoot as we walk. I let out a deep yawn, my lack of sleep coming back to haunt me. Did you not get much sleep last night? I couldn't sleep at all for the last 2 weeks. I mean, 2 nights. Sorry. Oh my god, if you couldn't sleep at all in the last 2 weeks, you'd be dead. Oh. Couldn't sleep at all in the last 2 nights. Probably insomnia. Lily's face suddenly becomes worried. Feels like a personal failure every time she gets worried about my well-being. Even if it's genuinely nice to know someone cares. Oh my god, this... Oh, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of this because I need to show this to someone. See if I got it. Okay. Screenshot. Because it reminds me of Icy.
You have insomnia? Aren't you going to see the nurse about it?
Nah, no real need. It's happened before a few times. My meds screw with my sleeping occasionally.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, it's not your fault. At least I shouldn't have any trouble getting to sleep tonight.
You do worry me sometimes.
I worry you? I reach around and scratch the back of my neck. I kind of want to address this. Hey, Lily.
Huh?
I don't mean to sound weird, but please try to forget about my heart condition. She looks kind of lost. I hardly blame her. I guess what I'm trying to get at is just don't treat me differently because of it. She bows her head slightly, her white cheeks reddening almost imperceptibly.
It's only natural to worry about those around you.
Well, it's still nice to know there's someone like that out there. It may be somewhat embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. Lily takes a breath to regain her composure and manages a gentle smile, though her cheeks remain flushed. The final downhill walk to the store passes in silence. Alright, hold on, sipping time. Okay. Well, welcome! I suppose I got my stuff first, and Hanako's on the second round. I grabbed two well-worn red baskets from the stack beside the entrance and passed one to Lily. Just as she did before, she lays it on the ground and slides her retracted cane between the basket's handles, before picking it back up with her right hand. When she takes hold of my arm in her own, I'm surprised at just how fast this kind of casual contact becomes so natural. Mostly due to necessity, no doubt.
Shall we?
Sure. While we navigate around the store, the odd person occasionally passing us pays us no heed at all. It's nice, compared to stares and whispers around the city. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily what she needs and grab it along with what I want, putting our items into their respective baskets. It's an odd feeling to be dependent on so much for something so basic as shopping. Hanako would be practically a necessity for her to pick out what she wants after all. Right, I'm pretty much done with both my stuff and Hanako's. You needing anything else, Lily?
No, this should be everything.
Off we go then. Oddly, there's a queue a mile long. Considering the store is only large enough to warrant one counter, seems like it'll take a while. Damn. Lily gives an inquisitive look, unable to see the reason for my complaint. The queue is really long. Looks like we'll have to wait.
How strange.
Sharing the same mood of resignation, we reluctantly take our place at the end of the line. One person finishes, the line moves up. Another person finishes, the line moves up. By the time we finally reach the head of the line, I'm so close to dozing off that Lily has to gently pat me on the back for me to move up.
Hisao. Hisao.
Huh? Oh, sorry. She gives a short sigh of consternation as I move up, getting the groceries for Hanako and me put into separate bags.
Thank you, please come again.
By the time we emerge from the store, Lily's holding a single bag, while I struggle to carry four, both hands well and truly full. It's a lot of work, but thankfully the items in them are light. Even without looking skyward, it's obvious that a surprising amount of time has passed, the road outside being dark and lit by street lamps. Once Lily retrieves her cane, we set out back to the dormitories the way we came, leaving the welcoming warm glow of the store. Despite the road being empty of cars, the full bags abundantly make up for the lack of noise, constantly clunking and squeaking together.
My Hisao. It's good to find that you're eating well. I'm a growing guy after all. I need to eat all I can. It must be nice, being a man. What? Soon not noticing or ignoring my surprise at the completely out of left field comment, she continues on without missing a beat. Weight doesn't really bother you when eating. Most of the time. Oh, I get what you mean. Women tend to worry about stuff like that more than we do, I guess. Exactly. It makes me somewhat envious, to be honest. What's not, we can outright ignore it. With an affirmative nod, we continue on our walk. Huh, that's right. What is it? Hanako mention your birthday was earlier this year? Do anything special for it? She gives a long pause, lost in thought for a few seconds as she recalls the event. Not really. It was just Hanako and me having a little party during the night after school. Birthday's supposed to be a big event, you know. Sounds like a pretty lonely way to spend a birthday, just her and Hanako staying overnight. Birthdays always felt like a family occasion for me. There were a time when, in spite of their full-time jobs, both my parents would make an effort to be there for the day, or at least for a party beforehand. It reminds me of how Lily mentioned she hadn't seen her family in such a long time, and even ended up moving away from Akira's house afterwards. But I guess it's the same in situations as mundane as these. Considering her inability to read the packaging, just getting groceries would be a pain without somebody else around. In the end, she just has Hanako and me, and Akira when she's off from work. Be that as it may, she still seems to have many more distant friends among the students, not to mention people like Yuko. It seems to be her own choice that there's such a separation between those who are close to her and those who she only socializes with. It humbles me a little to see how much Lily seems to have her life set up and going just as she wants. Yet Hanako is there for her to celebrate her birthday, and I'm here helping her with shopping. It's a weird kind of symbiosis, I suppose. Are you alright, Hisao? Sorry? You just seem to go very quiet, that's all. No, sorry, I was just thinking. Oh? Now I piqued her curiosity. It feels kind of overly personal to talk about, though. Oh shit, here we go. This is the first thing I've seen in a while. Alright, I am gonna put that here because I think that's the first choice I've seen in a long while in this. At least not since I started her route, so I put that there. This seems pretty important, especially since it's Act 2. Okay, we're gonna tell her the truth. Be honest. I was just kind of... I was thinking about how you seem to have everything so sorted out. Even with Hanako relying on you. I can admit that even I kind of relied on you when I first transferred in. I think it's a good quality to have. I turned to Liv, surveying her reaction. She's forcing herself to look forward and furrowing her brow quite a bit. Her face looks a bit awkward, as if she was trying to find just the right words. Lily? I would thank you, but assuming that I don't rely on the presence of others is too much. You'd be wrong to think that Hanako simply depends on me with nothing in return. She seems to have a bit of trouble saying it, even though it's largely what I thought already. If she's tried so hard to maintain her independence, as anyone would have had to in her position, decided or not, maybe she finds it hard to talk about her own needs. It's only now that I realize an omission in what she says, though. I decided to follow it up, largely in jest, to avoid things getting too personal. Oh, and what about me? She suddenly runs ahead of me and turns, blocking me off. With a smile, she holds her hands behind her as she leans forward. You're different. And with that, she turns back and continues to walk ahead of me, a newfound spring in her step.
All I can do is raise an eyebrow and give a dazed grin. I don't think I've ever seen this playful and teasing side of her before. So, I'm different. It's hard to work out the exact context, but knowing her, this ambiguity was intended. Our relationship has been changing, at the very least simply because I've begun to stand on my own feet more and start getting more curious about the situation of those around me. As to why, probably a mix of personal curiosity, and I want to try and work out how to deal with my situation. I'm less sure of Lily, though. That's why her own statement, so similar to my own feelings towards her, throws me off so much. Watching her make her way up to the street, cane tapping from left to right, I decided to settle the matter later, and just smile. This is a nice sight to her, and I don't want to forget it. Eventually we get to the girls' dormitories, with my arms aching from the weight of 2 sets of groceries. We're finally here. Ugh. I bend down and wipe my forehead with the back of my hand. Lee stops in front of her door and sits down her bag, fishing around in her pocket for the key. Thank you, Hisao. I really appreciate your help. This is nothing. It might be nothing to you, but it's definitely something for me. And with that, she steps to her door, closing it behind her. I blink. Those were nothing but honest things. I can't help feeling something different about them. Anyway, I have something else to do before I can mull on that at my leisure. Turn back to the door of Tanako's room, proceed to knock twice in quick succession. The bag still in my hand rustling together. After a couple seconds, the door slowly opens, and when we're looking closely, could be forgiven for thinking I hadn't moved at all. I adjust my head, decided to try and peer through the tiny sliver of a gap between the door and the doorframe. Hey, Hanako, got your stuff. Ah. With that, she opens the doors completely, making her plain room visible over her shoulder. Sparsely decorated, probably even more unremarkable than my own room. I hold out my right arm, both bags almost pulling it straight back down with their weight. Thank you, Hisao. I'm sorry to make you carry them all this way. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry. Just don't make me do it every day, okay? I pass the bags to her as I give a lighthearted chuckle. After the initial transfer of weight, she manages to take them easily. I'll be off then. Night, Hanako. Good night. See you in class tomorrow. The deep bow, her groceries still held in both hands. She sets the bag and shuts the door. Making my way back to my own dorm, I put one bag into my other hand to balance them out. Even as I do so, I can't get Lily's lighthearted smile out of my head. When I first met her, it would have been nearly impossible to imagine her like that. Indeed, it feels like we've become closer in the past few weeks since I first got to know both her and Hanako. The time that I spend with her each day, the small exchanges of happiness we share, those small moments of joy as I get closer to her. I'm far from certain, but I don't think these are just the normal feelings of friendship. Once I return to my room, I store away my groceries and begin getting ready for the night. I swapped the school books in my bag for those I'll need tomorrow, looking at the yellow envelope Misha gave me earlier in the process. I got so sidetracked by one thing after another that I couldn't deal with it earlier. Who could have written me, I wonder? The name nearly adorning the back of the envelope freezes me in my tracks. It's been so long since I've seen her writing. There's little chance I could have identified it as hers otherwise. Iwanako. Why should she have written me? I can't think of any good reason for her to do this. I wonder if she does this like in every route. Because I remember she did this too in Shizune's. Oh god, there's a burp. I almost don't open the letter, but there'd be little point to that. If I just left it alone, its mere existence would gnaw at me until I did something about it. I look down at the piece of paper on my desk. Its bright and summery decoration beaming happily at me.
The lettering is in pink, jarring badly with the yellow sunflower border on the card. The handwriting is neat. The characters have been written thoughtfully and with an unusual amount of care. I had barely given the letter a second thought when it was given to me. But now I can't get its contents out of my mind. Well, I like to say that I don't know why... Oh, sorry, I thought that was part of the letter. Well, I like to say that I don't know why she used such an old-fashioned method of communication. Considering a phone call or an email would be both much faster and easier. The answer feels obvious enough given the content. A letter leaves a comfortable distance between the sender and the recipient. Unlike a phone, it doesn't require the engaged in conversation. And unlike email, there's less expectation of an immediate reply. Statements such as, the third year seem to be very anxious about the final exams, and it's so weird to think we're already seniors, isn't it? Just small talk. Small talk that could have been achieved by simply replying to any of the messages I sent her while in the hospital. The ending, though, is the true reason she sent this. The last couple of lines added almost as an afterthought. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best we don't. It's a statement that should hurt. I always heard breakups are nasty stuff, but it feels like this is simply a reaffirmation of what we both already knew instead. It's the preceding text, no more than small talk, that makes me feel most uneasy. I can't figure out why, no matter how long I sit here and look down at this bright and summered piece of paper. If you'd like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. It's plainly obvious that this is not the type of letter to be replied to. In the end, this letter is no more than a simple abdication of responsibility. A final statement to reassure herself that our relationship is over. Or what little relationship you actually had. She only confessed to you, bro. As such, I find I have little problem in scrunching the letter and envelope into a ball and tossing it to the waste bin, ridding myself of its existence. I go to bed with mixed feelings, cheated out of a pleasant evening by this intruder from the past. Ironically, it takes a while before I can manage to sleep. The past always has to come up, huh? I sweat profusely, awaiting the dreaded moment. Each tick of the clock tenses my muscles that much more, every minute making more hair stand on end. It's coming for me, I can feel it. Death. Death in the form of a single sheet of paper. I take the small pile of papers from the student in front of me and pass it backwards, after plugging out the top piece. Looking to the top right of the page, I find my fears realized within that small red circle. 43. I hang my head in sigh in resignation. Cursing under my breath, I can feel the aura of a similar sentiment rising from the entire class. It's strange, but the fact lifts my mood by a minuscule amount. Misery loves company, I suppose. As the teacher opens her mouth, the room braces for an inevitable onslaught, only to be saved at the last minute. We quickly move to collect our bags and leave for lunch post-haste, but the teacher delivers a parting broadside. We'll be discussing the test scores next lesson. Needless to say, there'll be quite some discussion to be had. A collective groan resounds from the class, now reduced to shuffling out dejectedly. I push the sheet into my bag as I walk along the hallway, crumbling it in the process. It's enough that such a troublesome letter ended up on my desk yesterday, and now this. I hate English. Hey, Sal. A stern female gruffly... A stern female voice gruffly calls out from behind me. I freeze on the spot, my face becoming like stone. It's as if I could feel my brain disconnected from my body. My eyes slowly shift right, trying to catch a glimpse of the disembodied voice. Nothing. My face begins to slip as time passes.
I decided to risk turning my head. Ever so slowly. I twisted to the... Yeah! I jumped into the air and dropped my bag, yelling out in surprise. As I recovered and regained my composure, I tried to see... I should have known. Emmy. Gotcha, Hisao! Oh, wait, no. For her, it was like, Sorry, I gotta channel sorry. Okay. No, Sayori, that's how you say her name, Sayori. She stands there with a mischievous grin on her face, hands forward and fingers pointed inwards. She was the one who jammed my ribs with her fingers. I looked down at her with a grimace, rubbing my hair in frustration. That's no way to greet someone you know.
You have no sense of humor.
I left my sense of humor in my English class. Complained to the teacher if he wanted to give it back to me. She rolls her best puppy dog eyes at me as she pouts. Lily's managed to build up my resistance to the tactic, but Amy's short stature adds enough to the effect to making me relent. So how are things? Haven't seen you around for a while.
Same old, same old. I ran so fast. Nobody wants to join me on my morning runs. It's a real pain.
Her modesty never fails to amuse me.
Although...
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm thinking, don't you, Hisao?
Wearing my emotions on my sleeve is one of my worst habits. She's seen right through me. Fortunately, I see somebody else approaching us. That will give me an out. Oh, hi, Hanako. I give her a welcoming wave and try my best at looking like I haven't noticed Emmy's pouting face. She gives a small wave back.
Hello, Hisao. Emmy. Hey, Hanako.
I'll join you and Lily in a sec. Actually, speaking of lunchtime company, it's odd to see you without Reen, Emmy.
Ah! Reen!
Oh. Without a second where she forgets all that as bolts up halfway. Bolts off up the hallway. She must have forgotten she was waiting for her. Hanako and I stand speechless, only able to helplessly stand and watch this ball of seemingly boundless energy dash off.
Oh yeah, Hisao.
She suddenly stops herself just before vanishing around the corner to this rooftop staircase, spinning around to meet our bemused faces.
I hate English too.
And with that, she disappears. All I can do is hang my head and give a long sigh, thoroughly left in the dust. As I hear a short giggle coming from behind me, I turn to see Hanako smiling at the corner my attacker rounded. I pick up my dropped bag from the floor and quickly dust it off. Afternoon? Been busy?
You don't like English?
Nah. I had a test on it a while back and Emmy caught me brooding about the results.
Oh, sorry.
She averts her gaze, guilt-ridden on her face. A casual observer would think she just accidentally reminded me of a dead relative. Come on, it's not your fault. How are you doing in it? She looks up, but still avoids meeting my eyes.
Alright, I suppose.
An awkward silence passes. I see multiple comment around Hanako. Whoops, wrong one. I thought it was Hisao again. Ugh.
Oh, Lily asked if you'd like to join us for lunch on the roof.
I guess I don't exactly have any pressing engagements to attend to. Sure, I'll be right up.
I'll go get my lunch from the cafeteria now, then.
Go on, you don't need my approval to leave, you know.
Okay. I'll be going then.
She gives a skittish reply, a small nod, and quickly makes off towards the cafeteria. I guess she must have forgotten to bring lunch today. As I walk through the hallways, more and more students start to come out of classrooms and pass me, going in the same direction as Hanako went. By the time I manage to make it to the stairs, I'm going to push my way past the busily chatting throng of students. I finally managed to get past the last of the crowd and round the staircase, slipping slightly in relief and slowing my pace before I can open the door to the roof. Ah, damn. I momentarily avert my eyes, all but blinded by the harsh summer sun. Huh? As I slowly regain my vision, the surroundings finally take form. Lily, Emmy, and Reen sit together on the rooftop. The top of the hilltop forest around Yamaku visible past the fence around them, as if to frame the view.
Ah, Hisao. Lily and Reen give a quick nod of acknowledgement and a deep nod of greeting, respectively. I start working towards the rather mismatched trio, and Kendall marveling at the speed with which Emmy devours the rest of her half-eaten banana. Hey, strange to see you three together like this. It seems to have been quite the day of coincidences. Emmy and Reen decided to eat on the roof just as Hanako and I decided to. You stole it. This spot was ours. Simmer down. You can't steal a place in the school. I plonk myself down beside Lily, the four of us creating a semicircle. I think she is right. You too? The butterfly is your accomplice. The butter... So glad it's around. Sure enough, a small yellow butterfly floats across my field of vision. So, tell me, how does this butterfly help Lily steal the spot? It scouted out our conversation and told her. I should have better to expect sound reasoning from Ringen. Regardless, I guess it wouldn't hurt to play along. You're telling me she can talk to butterflies? There are people who can talk to horses, called horse whisperers. Lily must be a butterfly whisperer. I wear my head in my hands as Emmy rounds on her strange companion. She doesn't seem to share Reen's sense of humor. Whispers don't work like that. Emmy and Reen continue their banter as I turn to Lily, who is busily finishing off her small box of curry and rice. So, what brought you up here anyway? A little fresh air every now and again doesn't hurt. Ah! Emmy breaks off from her vain attempts to introduce the concept of logic to Reen. That was why we came up here too. Something tells me it was her idea alone, and that Reen only got dragged up here on Emmy's whim. Then again, same could probably be said of Lily and Hanako. Now, we can share. Creaking of the door of the roof can be heard as soon as she says the words. A moment of silence falls over us as everyone's attention focuses on the figure appearing from it. Hanako slowly sliding in. Hanako slowly walks over to us, her eyes pinned to the ground, silently ruining the attention she's attracting. She tenses, just barely, when her eyes meet Reen's. I can't help raising an eyebrow as she walks over to us and sits next to me, doing her utmost to avoid looking up even as she brings her cafeteria bread to her mouth. So, how do you and Emmy know each other anyways? Emmy's somewhat well known around the school for her athletic ability. She's the fastest member of the track, and field club by some margin, even beating Miki Miura at the track meet last week. Miki Miura. Oh, that tan girl from the front of my class. Considering her height and toned body, being able to beat her is quite an accomplishment. Looking over to Emmy, it's very clear she's well aware of this fact, as she beams proudly. So, Hisao, what was your score in English? No comment. Boo. She puffs her cheeks and pouts, but it doesn't take long for her to bounce back. Alright, if I tell you mine, you have to tell me yours. Deal? Oh, fine. Okay, on the count of 3, we both say our results. 1, 2, 3. 32. She got worse. I beam a mischievous grin. Ah, evil! You said it, not me. Still, the fact that you managed an even lower score than me is kind of amazing. Shakes and sounds like a small terrier growling at an intruder. I can't say it's the most threatening sight I've seen. Either way, scoring higher than 32 isn't something to boast about, much less scoring below it for any subject. Yes, Lily. Sorry, Lily. I could help you with your English if you like. It would be my pleasure, too. No, that's fine. But I appreciate the thought. Really. Lily looks slightly deflated, her hopes of imparting her knowledge dashed. Judging from the badly hidden laughter of the rest of us, neither she nor Emmy seemed to have garnered too much pity. Whoa, what the... As I sit happily laughing, though, I feel my voice suddenly cut off as my chest clenches. Oh my god. It's crazy that just laughing would just trigger it, too.
I sit in silence for a few seconds, all my concentration forced on my heartbeat. It's only a small pain, but the ache feels like it's growing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. I glanced up to try and keep at least some attention on my surroundings, to see Emmy suddenly freezing when she noticed the expression of pain on my face out of the corner of her eye. Hey, Hisao. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I look back down and redouble my efforts to try and stay calm, clenching my fists to try and dull the pain. It takes a short time, but the pain, thankfully, begins to fade. When I look back up, there's only silence and pensive faces to be seen. I guess I'd better explain myself. Arrhythmia. I'm fine. It's just a heart flutter. Are you sure? Should we get the nurse? Taking her cue, Hanako quickly picks herself up and begins to dash to the door. Hanako, stop. Lily, I'm fine. You look like a wet, wrinkled tomato. Uh-huh. As I bring my hand to my forehead, I can feel the beads of sweat gathered on it, and I dab them off with my cuff. I said, thanks. I told you, I'm fine. I'm just kind of fragile, I guess. The entire atmosphere has changed from one of gaiety to downcast faces. The situation being too awkward for anyone to know exactly how to react. And of course, the whole thing is thanks to me. It just had to happen now, around others. Oh, Emmy. Huh? She looks up, box of juice halfway to her mouth. I haven't told you my score yet, have I? Yeah, well, you're half foreign, so your score doesn't count anyway. Just an eyebrow quickly turned to Lily. What was your test result anyway? She gave a cheeky grin. 100%. Perfect score. No way. All I can do is hang my mouth open in wonder. Considering those tests are insane even for some native speakers, I can only imagine she's gone and done something like committing to mind part of the dictionary. A gift for rote memorization, maybe. That's... See, only someone part foreign could get a score that good. See... And I grinned at Emmy's expense, her reaction identical to mine when I first tripped on that little landmine. Lily's foreign ancestry does raise a point, though. No, that's right. You leave tomorrow for Scotland, don't you? That's correct. Emmy heard some rumors about it. Seems word spreading quickly, considering I only told a friend in my class a couple of days ago. It must be so nice to go halfway around the world on a holiday. Hey, could you buy me something while you're there? No, don't be too shy now. Lily gives a lighthearted giggle, evidently fully expecting Emmy's bluntness. See, sorry, I got into the game shortly after injuring my knee. I've had repeat instances and then that exact situation has happened to me. Oh. I guess it would hit differently, like, for people who, like, have, like... I mean, I guess the equivalent could happen, too, with people with panic attacks, where, like, the last thing they would want is for a panic attack to happen in front of people. So even something like that, and even something physical, like arrhythmia, or having, I guess, a knee injury acting up again, oof. I imagine it'd be rough. The rest of the lunch continues much the same as before. The jauntiness from before my heart flutter, thankfully returning in full. As everyone files off with the appropriate farewells, only Lily and I are left. Oh ho, alone time. Hey, Lily? She packs last for things into her bag and clips it shut, before perking her head up slightly. Thanks for breaking the silence back there. I kind of wanted to stop it, but didn't really know how to. As much as I like to sound less remorse about it, the letter from yesterday screwing up a test so badly in class, and now my heart makes things very hard indeed. She gives an indulgent smile and nods. I hope she hasn't picked up on it, but knowing her, it's unlikely that she hasn't. Emmy's strong, but only human. We do worry about you, Hisao. Hold on, why would I worry you? Your smiley face collapses, becoming uncomfortably serious. Hey, Sal. We are not ignorant of your situation. I think she's supposed to say unlikely. And then stops. She's gonna cut herself short, unsure whether she should say what she intends to. I give a weak smile and rest my hand on her shoulder. Don't. It's enough I worry about it. And I don't want you all to shoulder my burden. But if you all worry about it, I have to worry about your worrying. If that makes sense. I'm fine, okay? Ramesh looks to be lost in thought, carefully pondering how to react. Hey, Sal. Do you have any paper left from your food's packaging? I think so? I'll just check. I went around my bag for leftovers from lunch, eventually finding a paper square for my sandwich's package. My eyebrow raised, my expression raised rather quizzical. I gently placed a square into Lily's hand. Without another word, she brings her fingers around it to feel out its edges. This should be large enough. With both of us seated on the roof, the midst of the lesson ticking away, she proceeds to lay the item on the ground, beginning her work in earnest. Wrapped in silence, I watched her fingers move about in the small square with amazing dexterity. A small fold here, a larger fold there. Her fingertips keep a slow but sure pace. Looking up, her expression is calm and placid. The fact her face is pointed well above the sheet in front of her makes the sight of her work all the more curious. Her shoulders slump a bit after finishing one final fold. Her work apparently done. It's only when she holds the item up in her hands that I realize what it is. Oh, it's a paper crane. A small origami crane. Light brown thanks to the packaging used. The result looks quite delicate and precise. You can do origami? I taught myself how to do it when I was younger. It improved my dexterity a bit. Huh. Oh, baffled, I carefully take the small bird from her pale cupped hands, as if it would break from the slightest breath. It seems to be folded quite well, and holds its shape easily. We both grab our bags and out the door, Lily extending her cane as she does so. Lily's handiwork up to my face for further inspection while we... Oh, I hold Lily's handiwork up to my face for further inspection while we walk down the hallway. Her hand running along the silver handrails for orientation. She taught herself origami to improve her dexterity, with the use of her hands being so much sure given her condition. So that's it. I smile as I realize the bird's meaning. Everyone here has had to find their own ways of dealing with their conditions. You aren't alone here when you have problems. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate this. She gives a sweet smile and a nod, now using words where none need to be used. In her typical manner. All I ask is that you take care of yourself, Hisao. Don't worry, I will. Promise? Promise. And with that, we part ways. To be honest, I don't know what annoys me more. The fact that I could die at any moment, or the fact that everyone knows that. I guess I'll just take each day as it comes. As the unexpected present in my hand reminds me, I'm not alone here. Even though I may be like this, I'm not alone. If they worry, if anyone worries, I'll smile. I'll smile enough for all their worries to go away. When the bell rings out, a collective sigh of relief comes from everyone. Much of the morning's been taken up by a droning lecture on Stoichiometry. I don't know. A topic entirely unbefitting of the insufferable heat permeating the classroom. Knowing that attempting to teach anything more would be an exercise in futility, Muto gives up and begins clearing the teaching materials from his desk for the day. As me and this banter starts filling the classroom, I notice Hanako getting up and coming to my desk. She's been a little withdrawn lately, something which gives me a small measure of satisfaction.
Hello, Hisao.
Hey, wanna go pick up Lily then? It's close to time when she needs to get going if she's gonna make the flight.
About that. She said she might be held up by her classmates.
I suppose that makes sense. Her class usually gets off a little earlier than ours, so Lily would normally have just come to our classroom. Her class must be sending her off. Well, never mind. We can wait outside our classroom for once, right? She gives a small giggle before nodding. The two of us taking our things and leaving for 3-2's classroom. When we reach our destination, I stop in idle amusement at the scene inside. One of the shorter girls from the class has Lily wrapped in an enthusiastic hug. Her head no higher than Lily's chin. Her other friends, of which there are several, are gathered around her as well. Lily simply smiles kindly and hugs her back. I guess Lily must be pretty popular. If Shizune's harsh but fair dictatorship in 3-3, Lily seems more like a mother figure for 3-2. To say nothing of her height and looks. Kenji's pointedly cool demeanor as he packs up his things at his seat in the back of the corner of the classroom is expected. He's no doubt far from a fan of the fuss being made about Lily's leaving. Looking beside me and seeing Hanako following my gaze, I decided to finally enter the room. Afternoon, Lily. It's just me and Hanako. Whoa, that was a weird transition in the background. Hanako withers noticeably when exposed to the din being made around Lily. Try as she might, I doubt she'll ever completely get over her social anxiety.
Hello.
Lily managed to work out her position reasonably well, her classmate detaching herself without a second word. A look of slight exasperation is right on Lily's face, but I can't say I blame her.
Hello, Hisao. Hanako. Do we have much time before the flight leaves?
I give a quick glance at my watch, taking the trip to the airport into account. There's a good 10, maybe 15 minutes left while still allowing for contingencies. Yeah, we still have a few minutes to kill. I don't worry about missing it yet. Ah, is this Hanako? Uh-oh. I think we just inadvertently became entangled in Lily's social web. The girl is probably part of the legally blind faction of the class like Kenji, giving her almost window-pane-like spectacles. Her short, roughly cut hair gives her a look that fits her excitable expression.
Hello,
She takes Hanako's hands and pulls it up and down enthusiastically. I really don't get how girls can be so social to someone they only know as a friend of a friend. While Hanako exchanges nervous greetings, I look around the room for my short and overdressed next-door neighbor. Try as I might, he seems to have slipped out of the classroom without anyone noticing. Damn, we miss Kenji. For a moment I try to think about possible career paths that could reasonably benefit from a single skill. Or putting my mind to more pertinent matters. Oh, excuse me. Lily seems pleased, as if somewhat guarded, about the enthusiasm Hanako is suddenly excited from those around her. She might not see it, but Hanako is much less panicked about the fair than I anticipated. Shoving my way through the gaggle of classmates, I eventually managed to reach her. Don't worry, Hanako's fine.
Thank you. I thought she might be overwhelmed by them.
Don't worry, we'll be gentle. With those grimace in unison, Hanako's nervous grin stays plastered on her face, as another couple of girls move in to meet her. It's kind of amazing that even just a month ago she'd never been able to cope with a situation such as this. Even when I first met her, the two of us completely alone, she sprinted from the library. So, got everything you need?
It's all packed. I just have to go by my room, pick it up on the way. And Hanako and I need to exchange.
Oh. I guess we better get going then. Hanako? Hanako's head flicks up towards us in a flash, her face rather unmistakably appreciating the chance to extricate herself from the small group gathered around her.
Coming.
The long taxi ride to the airport is surprisingly pleasant, despite the three of us being rather squashed together to fit in the small back seat. On the other hand, maybe despite isn't the right word. Lily pays the fare to the driver as we file out. Hanako's eyes flittering left and right. Thankfully, there aren't too many people around. Most of them being inside the main building rather than milling around the outside. Oh, excuse me again. Isn't it hard to spot Akira and Hideaki leaning against the fence while talking to pass the time? Arched black travel bag, complete with wheels and travel handle, leans against the fence alongside them. Hideaki is the first to notice us, pointing us out to Akira, who gives an enthusiastic nod. Over-enthusiastic. Wave, I mean, sorry. Hey, hey! I grabbed Lily's travel bag for her as we go to meet the two, earning a nod of appreciation. I've got all my stuff here. You got yours? Plane ticket as well? Don't worry. I have everything. You? Yep, all ready to go. Not without some problems along the way, I might add. The Summer Mark had his head roughed draggly around by a very firmly clamped on hand. Haha, yeah, I kind of sort of forgot it was my trousers pocket. Trousers that I put into the wash. Oh no. Don't worry, don't worry. Did you know you can print out tickets if you order online nowadays? It's really cool. Hideaki's pain expression says that this wasn't a solution found quickly. It could have been worse, I guess. We better start off then. Check-in should be ready by now. Yeah, you're right. There's a certain amount of wistfulness in both their voices. They say nothing of the people left behind. Well, to say nothing of the people left behind, meeting their family again after all these years would be big for them. Lily? Hanako wraps Lily in a gentle hug to say goodbye, one which is warmly reciprocated. Lily and I share a brief hug afterward, each of us saying our goodbyes. Beside us, Akira and Hideaki break off from a small hug and a word or two between them. They probably look quite nice, if not for the almost comical height difference between the two. Lily takes hold of her sister's arm when it's all that needs to be said in farewells is said. The two walking past the huge glass doors. Goodbye, Hisao. Hanako. See ya, don't do anything stupid, shorty. Wave at them until they disappear from sight in the throng of people moving about inside. And then, we're alone. You ended up with Kenji of all people. Oh no. Well, that's that. I turned to see Hideaki already begin to walk off. See ya. He throws a hand into the air in a manner I expect of Akira. In the end, it's just Hanako and me left standing outside. I rest my hand on her shoulder. She absentmindedly gazes towards the front doors of the building, as if she might catch a glimpse of either of the two before they disappear. Don't worry. The time will pass fast. She hesitates for a moment, but eventually nods. With the scorching heat of the summer sun beaming down on us, we make our way to the nearby bus stop. It's strange, really. Just when I began to see Lily differently, she leaves on what almost feels like a pilgrimage to the past. In a way, though, that's just what I've been doing since coming to Yamaku, sorry. As much as I may reflect on everything that's happened to me, I really am hardly unique. Everyone has their own circumstances and separate paths to get where they are now. It's kind of something I heard, where it's like, okay, you have problems, and you wish that if you were normal, then all those problems would be gone. Not true. It just means you'll have different problems. Yet I still can't really work out how I should proceed. My life may have practically been reset. I still can't find anything that satisfactorily fills the hole I still feel in myself. Maybe Lily's leaving will be a good thing for me. Without her to lean on, I need to do more for myself. I'll have to be there for Hanako as well.
It feels strange to have so much changing so quickly after my months in that hospital that seemed to exist so separately from reality. But that's all the more reason for me to keep focus. I can't let any opportunity slip out of my fingers in my attempt to rebuild my life. Oh, we finished the act. Oh, present. Oh, oh my god. This is actually a good point to stop, though. We're gonna make a new save state. Okay, see it? Alright, so day by day is the one. Okay. This is the one that has the choice. Which we might need it for the bad end. Oh man. I'm assuming the other way is the bad end. Not telling her the truth or just being quiet about it. Oh man. I have to admit though, this is like, compared to Shizune's act, like, I definitely see the difference. It's a little sad that Shizune's is a little weaker in comparison. I mean, it's not bad, it's not like entirely weak, but I definitely feel the difference. Lily's feels like a more slow burn for sure. Whereas with Shizune, it seemed to kind of jump kind of quickly into like, oh, we're boyfriend, girlfriend, you know. We're doing it now, and it's like, oh, okay, then we're just jumping into it. Not to mention that, yeah, they had sex scenes in questionable parts of their story, yeah. With Shizune, I mean. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe it wasn't so great to start with Shizune. Although I have to admit, the dynamic with Misha was probably one of the appealing things about it, though. And it was sad, though, like, the whole Misha thing was really sad, so... all the roots are very different. This act stands out as the writer had several years of experience already. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, this is a good one. I do like the Lily one. I would like to see Hanako's next, too. Especially since now I know that, you know, it's more PTSD related for her than actual, like, physical disability or trauma. Alright, but anyway, we're gonna call it here. I am glad to have done, you know, I've gone reading through it. I prefer this definitely over Xenoverse, because like I said, I don't think I'd be able to keep up, and my enthusiasm would be into it as well as much. I started with Shizune. I think I started with Emi Ranko. Yeah, for me, I really like Shizune's forwardness, that's why. She was very, like, pretty aggressive, and I kind of like that, so... I went with Shizune, I was attracted to that. Like, she was mute, but she was like, I know what I want, I'm gonna get what I want. That I appreciate. Guess you get a game for when you're... for when you're tired. Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping to look into more backup games, but this is the only one I could think of, so... Because I did consider, like, I don't know, starting up something on the PlayStation or something else, but then I was like, you know what? No, let's do this. Reading is low effort, I don't really have to do much, and I can kind of more or less turn my brain off just to read. And
the part of me that enjoys stories did was, you know, enjoying this all together anyway. So I'm still surprised about how that one line with Hanako's birthday hit me hard. God, it was just like I said, it was so sad, and I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, oh man. Like, you're just happy that anyone could love you. Oh man. Oh, poor Hanako. And I think that's kind of why I'm like, oh, like, what would happen if it was if I had pursued Hanako? If this is how happy she felt just having Lily only in her life, as far as she knew anyway. But anyway, that's something for another time. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Have a good rest of your morning, day, night, whatever. I will see you guys tomorrow with more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So till then, take care, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.